Welcome to Shortstop on Pool. This video is going to be my running commentary on an 82 ball straight pool run that I put together just a couple days ago. You can see I've got the overhead camera on the right, the end of the table camera view on the left. I'm going to try to just let the video go. I don't want to stop it and try to make a lesson out of everything. I just want to kind of instead try to describe what I'm thinking about as I'm shooting. I'll try to keep up so that I don't have to interrupt the video. So let's hit play. I've taken ball in hand to begin. So I've set up this break shot. I'm just stroking this with a high ball. I want the cue ball to go into the rack and curve to the bottom rail like that. I really like when the cue ball curves to the bottom rail and I have right English, in this case inside English, to come back towards center table rather than going this way. So now I'm taking a quick, we call it rack analysis, taking a look at what the table has to offer. There's going to be an opportunity to make a break ball out of something here. I've got the 10 ball blocks this ball, and I have an up table ball. You saw me look to my left just now, which makes me, yeah, I'm coming to see if this ball goes past the 10 in the corner. If it does, maybe my only shot is this 14. So if I can come to the rail, then I can shoot this 11 and then the 10. So in that fashion, early in the rack, I'm taking care of two trouble balls, a rail ball and a blocker ball. Often in I hit that a little roughly. Often in straight pool, I've got issues here in the center of the table also, and I've got to make a break ball, but you can't do everything at once. So you look at the table, you make a decision, you make a plan of action, and then commit to that plan. Now I can see that I've gotten the wrong angle on this 11. I don't think I can hold the cue ball to get a shot at this 10, so I'm not sure. It looks like I'm going forward softly. Yeah, just to the bottom rail. So I wasn't able to stick to my original plan, but just keep the cue ball alive by going to the bottom rail and off. I know I'm going to have an angle on this ball. I could do a couple of things. I could go forward to get the 10 or come straight up because I'll have a shot on either the 2 or the 15 in this corner. I'm removing more balls that might clear pathways for other balls back into this pocket. So in the beginning part of a rack, often your decision-making and your position play is a little bit more general in nature. You're giving yourself multiple opportunities. For example, if this cue ball had rolled farther, I might choose to shoot the 10, and there'd be nothing wrong with that. But you're always trying to advance the position of the rack, improve the balls. So that's what I did there. I hit that with a little bit of speed to separate those balls, and I still preserve two balls, the 7 and the 3, that could be break shots. If I have a shot on the 15, I'm sure I'll shoot it. It looks like I don't, so I'm going to have to go to the 5. So you saw what I was doing. I walked around the table over here to look. What am I looking at? I'm looking at how can I access the 6 and that stripe. Do they go over here? If they do, I might be able to play position for them right now on the 5. I'm not sure what my plan is. Let's take a look. Okay, so I can tell now that was getting position on the 10. And it looks like I have a plan for where I'm going on the 10. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. Oh, okay. So I've already checked, and evidently this 7 goes in the side pocket. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done that with the cue ball. And then I'm assuming that this stripe goes back in this corner next. Let's see. Nope, I'm following forward. Okay, so I'm following forward to the side rail. I'm not sure what my plan is for these two balls. Right now, I have one break ball, and it's this one, and I need a key ball to get on that break ball. It might be this 13. I'm not sure what I'm doing yet. Okay. From here, if you notice, I can shoot this ball or this one or this one. I have position on all 3. And everything that I'm doing right now has to be focused on dealing with the 6 and the stripe. How am I? I'm not sure what I have in mind. Okay, they must both go here. Okay, they both go here. And so what I was doing was preserving the 4 as the key ball for my break shot. So by shooting the 13 and coming here, I can remove one of those. Now it's a simple matter to shoot this stripe, then this one. And I don't want to, I shoot them in that order because from this ball, it's easy to play position here to get straight in on this key ball on the side. So once I shot my position for this 10 ball, The rack was pretty much decided because I was using this ball on the side to get on this rail ball, then get the up table ball, and then the bottom balls that were remaining, those 4 balls, played themselves. Eliminate these 2 to use this one to get on the key ball. So I'm sure that I saw that after I shot the 10 ball. So that's a real good rack, a pretty standard rack. It wasn't too difficult because the balls opened fairly well. Now, there were issues. I had blocker balls and I had a cluster. I had things to deal with, but there wasn't a lot of balls tied up, and I didn't have to do a re-break where you have 7 or 8 balls that are still in a tight cluster. This is a similar break shot, but I wouldn't be surprised if I cue it low, and I wouldn't even be surprised if I draw to the head rail. This one, you don't want the cue ball to go to the bottom rail. You can scratch too easily. Yeah, so, and that might not have been a lot of draw. That was more of a stun because I'm sure I was hitting the top side of the rack ball that the cue ball was hitting. Your cue ball is automatically going to pick up right-hand spin shooting from this side of the table, but I might have had a little bit of right-hand spin again. Now you see a similar decision to the first rack, and that is I went for the up table ball right away, and I'm going to get rid of this ball. This ball is a super easy shot, but there's no reason to keep it there. And once my cue ball's up table, I want to get rid of it, do all my up table work, and then stay down table after I shoot that ball. So that drives that decision. I think I'm committing to this 2 ball as a break ball, unless if I'm able to nudge something else over. The 4 ball below the rack could also be a break ball. You saw me went over and looked. I went over and looked to make sure I get an angle on this 9. And now I wouldn't be surprised if I follow the cue ball all the way over here to remove the 11, because the 11, it's if the 11 was here, it might be a good key ball for the 2, but being low, I just don't like it. I'd rather remove that 11 ball. Okay, I'm not doing that. Obviously, I played position for the 1. This is what I call a wide open rack. There's no trouble balls. It's simply choosing a pattern to get you on your break ball. And if the 2 ball is my break ball, look, I don't have a key ball up here for that break shot. So you've got to make a decision early, like right now when there's 7 or 8 balls left on the table, where you're going. So I'm removing the outer balls, perimeter balls, and leaving the balls in the center. Okay, so that's position for the 8. Now, these balls in the center can be pivot balls because you get a cut shot in one corner pocket, and then you can move the cue ball to either side of the table that you want. So I see myself shooting the 8 and then removing all 3 of these. It can be a little bit delicate because to get rid of the 5, and I think it's a 14 on the bottom rail, because you want a really shallow angle on this 5 so that you can keep the cue ball here to shoot the 14. I think what I'm going to do now, though, instead of that, is play position for the 4. Then I don't have to shoot such a delicate shot. And as you notice, I have a much bigger angle on the 5 than I just mentioned, because now I can shoot the 4 and get shape on the 14. So that's a 3-ball sequence that comes up quite often in straight pool. You want to be on the lookout for that. So I'm going to shoot the 4. I want to make sure I get an angle on the 14. I can bring the cue ball up and shoot either of these in the side pocket. That's probably about what I want to do. That's going to be harder to do now. I don't know why I came so far. I could also shoot the 15 right now, but I don't like that. Yeah, this is a little tricky. I might end up using this 11 as a key ball after all. It looks like I'm probably going to bring the cue ball this way. And I just want to float it up there one rail. Ooh, no, okay, well, that'll work too. But if you notice again, by going this way, I'm likely to get position on all 3 of those balls. I'm not sure if I was trying to do that or just was trying to go straight up to hit the 15, but now it's standard. I talked about a pivot ball. The 7 is a pivot ball. So here's the shot line for the 7. I was just going to say I need my cue ball below the shot line, and I didn't do that. So not quite getting the cue ball in an optimal position. What am I looking at now? I probably have to draw the cue ball to the rail and back for the 1. This is touchy because you don't want to get straight in. You want an angle so that you can bounce out for your break shot. Looks like I'm going forward with inside spin. Am I going around the 2? No, I'm not. Oh, okay. I've decided that the 2 ball is too low. Sorry, I forgot all about that. I bet I decided that earlier on in the rack, and I'm choosing this ball as the break ball. Yeah. So if you notice, when you're playing position for a break shot that's on the rail, you can get a very sharp angle. You can get probably close to a 30-degree angle or a shallow angle. When you can choose between those, you want the sharp angle. And you're like, man, that's really thin. Yeah, you want it to be thin because then the cue ball retains a lot of its energy, which means it's got that energy to give to the rack. You got to practice these because when you're hitting it hard, if you brush the rail, it can rattle. So this is different than you will usually strike this during a game of 9-ball or straight pool or anything else. When you're using this as a break shot, you're kind of overcutting it to make sure that it finds its way into the pocket. And you can even use a little bit of right English. So you have to, inside English. So you have to practice that so you know the deflection of your shaft and you can cut that ball cleanly. As you see, sometimes you get a real good opening, but this is what I call a re-break rack. I've got a big cluster of balls that are still tight. So I need a shot to open them, and I think I'm going to use the 10. I need a shot where I can re-break them. I'm not playing for I'm not playing position for an insurance ball. I'm just going into the rack hard. So in the key to this shot, I'm cutting the 10, a lot of topspin. Topspin's going to make the cue ball back up and go forward and get through the balls. Real forceful stroke there. See how the cue ball kind of bounced a couple of times and then went through? That's how you're going to get those big clusters open. The cue ball's got to keep pounding on it. So you got to get a lot of topspin to go through. Now I'm looking at it, and you just saw me look at probably the 9-ball's a break ball. If I can get a stop shot on the 7 here and a nice sharp angle on that 9, that can be a very good break ball, even though it's low. So the only issue that I'm dealing with now that the balls are spread wide, is I got to get this 13 out of there so that my 7 has a pocket. And how am I going to do that? I may have been trying to come all the way up here to try and get this window on the 13. I don't like that. I think it would have been better to simply come up here and get a low angle on the 10, and then I can kind of stun my cue ball between these. So now as you can see, I'm looking over there. Am I shooting? Yeah, I'm shooting the 10. Oh, I was going to shoot the 10 with a bridge, and now I changed my mind. What am I going to do instead, though? I don't see a good shot. Oh, I'm just shooting it without a bridge. You've got to find a key ball to give you the opportunity to play position for this window on the 13. So I guess that's the 8. I just played position for the 8 because now I've got a slight cut on the 8. My cue ball is going to move this way anyway, so just play speed control. And the nice thing about shots like this is if I don't get that window, I will have a shot on the 3. That's the type of thing you want to pay attention to. You're never taking risks. You're never putting your eggs all in one basket until you get to the end pattern. Then you have to, and that's why you want to take more time on your end pattern. But now I've got this 11, and I just need to get the cue ball out of there without disturbing the 7 and the 3. It looks like I'm going to draw back out through that window. Okay, and I just did it softly. I was hoping to get a shot on one of these balls in the side pocket. But now, if you look at the table, I really don't want to shoot the 3 because I'm going to be able to use the 3 to get really good. You've got to get a really good angle, which is straight in on this 7. So it looks like I'm going up. Yeah, that was a mistake. I was going up to the 2, which I don't like. I like staying down table, getting the stripe, the 5, and the 2, and then maybe you cut the 2 and come up to get the 2 and come up to get the 4 is what I meant. Because then from the 4 to the 1 to the 3 is automatic. See that? Now I've got to get, I'm shooting down table balls, then I have to go up table, and then I have to come back down table. This is not optimal. But I understroked that ball in the side pocket. I was trying to get the cue ball all the way up here so I could go 4, 1, 2, 5, 3. So now I've got to come up with a different pattern. I'm considering floating down here. You want to get past the shot line to the 5 in the side, because then you can get up for the 4. Is that what I'm? No. Okay, so I'm going this way. Oh, I remember this shot. Yeah, this is a touchy one. What I do is I force the cue ball to the rail with a lot of left spin to bring it back over here. You could also try and draw the cue ball this way. But what happened last time I tried to do that? You can end up short. You can end up against the rail with the wrong angle. By doing what I'm doing, I'm coming over here, and I'm going to have some angle on the 4 with a reasonable shot. You really got to play your and I don't want to so much spin that I hit the 3. Okay. And it looks like if you look at the overhead, I'm cutting it to my left slightly. So this is drawback with left spin. I'm trying to spin it down to center table. And I remember this. I didn't quite get enough spin. This is a shot you need to have in your repertoire. It looks like you can't shoot the 3 in the side soft enough to hold it for a straight-in shot in the 7. Use a 1-inch bridge and tap it. Just tap it. And let it roll forward. Takes practice to get confident with that shot because usually you don't want to be slow rolling balls. There's very rare occasions when that you're comfortable doing that. So you need to practice that. But when you've got a ball that far from the side pocket, you can do that you just tap. They call it dead weight in snooker. You just tap the cue ball. So it's just the weight of the cue ball hitting the object ball to give it a little bit of force to roll into the pocket. So this one is, believe it or not, you can shoot above center. You're not going to get enough follow on this ball to miss the rack because you're hitting it so hard. It's going to stay on the tangent line. But you don't want the cue ball to get stuck. Generally, when you're hitting the bottom of the rack, you're not going to get it as open as much unless if you do what I think I'm going to do here, which is pound it hard. Hard. That wasn't all that hard. That was a medium hard stroke. And this is what generally happens when you hit the corner is you get a triangle of balls that remains because the energy goes around the outside and it doesn't disturb the inside balls. So my first priority is another re-break, and I'm doing it right now. I'm going into the bottom of the rack. I've got balls to both sides, and if the cue ball comes through, I might have a shot in the side pocket. So there you go. The very first shot is a re-break. Now the rack is mildly clustered, I would say. I love the result of this because I have a break ball here, a break ball here, and a break ball here. So all I have to do is deal with these 3 balls, and then everything's going to be open, and then I just have to choose a pattern to get on a key ball. Typically I'm going to favor this side of the table, like the 7 ball, because I'm right-handed. And then also, this is a great key ball. So I'm probably going to be looking to not shoot these balls. So I've got to work my way around. I'd really like to get short side. I want my cue ball here, short side on these 2 balls, because they both go here. Even though, because the rack is only mildly clustered, I'd like to find a way through here without bumping balls, if I can avoid it. Okay, so this is a position for the 2 or the... I played position for the 5. Nice. Now, I might be able to bump the 15 and open these up a little bit. I just said I don't want to bump balls. But in this case, I'm guaranteed to have a shot on the 5 or the 3 or the 2 back in this side pocket. So I might take the chance. So, sometimes you bump these balls and you think you're going to open them and you tie them up worse. So I don't remember what I do here. Let's take a look. Okay, I made sure to get the ball clear. Now, I bet I'm going to shoot the combination, or unless if the 11 goes. Remember, I want to get short side. So now I've got a couple of balls to give me an opportunity to get short side position on the 1 or the 6. Looks like the 11 goes. Yeah, if you look at the overhead camera, I didn't have much of a pocket, but because you're real close to it, you can play it with accuracy. Now I can shoot the 6, and I'm just going to move the 1 ball over a little bit, and I'll have a shot on the 1 or the 15. And this is gravy because I've got an up-the-table ball and 3 balls at the side pocket that I can use to position the cue ball on a stop shot on this 14. Okay, what I did there was I like that. Instead of leaving the cue ball here, I drew it back because this is the natural position. 1, 2, out, and I've got a shot on the 1. And that's much better than leaving the cue ball here and then cutting that stripe and coming across like this. The positional route is much easier. Now I want to take a look. I have too many key balls here. Oh, and I'm not shooting the one. I guess I'm not shooting the one because the cue ball is going to go towards my break ball, and I don't want to do that. So what I'm doing is I'm getting the up table ball, and then I want to get this one ball as soon as I can and use it to come back up and probably use the 2 ball to get on the 14. So this is a little bit more travel than I'd like. I wish I would have come up high enough to shoot the 1, then shoot the 5 to get the 9, and then you come back for these 2 balls. Okay. This isn't great. I'm on the wrong side. Okay, I know what I'm going to do now. Yeah, I'm going to shoot the 4. I just checked my angle. I want to get straight in on the 2. I'm going to have this angle on the 9 ball, and the reason why it works is this 2-rail route like this gets you right on that 14. So when you don't have a pattern that lends itself to doing a stop shot followed by another stop shot, which I didn't have, so I'm sure I decided earlier that I was going to use the 1 ball in this fashion. You want to stay above the shot line so you can play. And I just sighted it. You want to sight from the pocket to the ball to the rail, and then you make sure you hit the rail below that point. Then when the cue ball comes off the rail, it's coming up to the line. And then I just made a liar out of myself. For some reason, I felt that I wanted floating. I had better control floating the cue ball, but the 2-rail route's better. Now I came too far. Now I've got to use left English and stroke the ball and try and come back out. And I didn't quite get a parallel angle. I'm a little bit inside, but that's okay. That's a powerful break shot. And it's not like my cue ball's way over here and I'm cutting it backwards. This is a very reasonable shot, break shot for straight pool. And a powerful one because you have an inside angle, the cue ball's going to have more energy than the object ball, and it's going to transmit that energy to the rack. Stood back here for a good long time and sighted the ball. And when I sight it, I'm watching the ball go in the pocket. And I'm visualizing the object ball hitting the back of the pocket. And then when I come over and stand behind the cue ball, same thing. Then get down on the shot. Yep. And then that was a straight high ball. If you notice, my cue ball backed up quick, top spin killed it, and then it came forward a little bit. Perfect. That's what you want. But that visualization, you really want to be deliberate with it on your break shots. The break shots are critical because it's the difference between your opponent coming to the table and you getting another 14 balls. And you're hitting it harder than you hit most shots. So you really want to be accurate with pocketing the ball. Okay, so these balls open fantastically. There's no clusters, no rebreaks. The only thing I got to deal with is this. And I anticipate that I'll use the 9 ball to play position right here and shoot one of those in the upper corner, and that's going to open that up. And I chose to bump a ball, which is risky. Why would you bump a ball? You could tie things up. But this is a break ball, and this one could be a break ball. Either one. I don't have a good key ball. I want to get rid of this ball as soon as possible. But I went and looked at my angle because I want to get rid of this ball, and then these 2 balls are an issue to deal with. Once those 2 problems are solved, then you look for an end pattern. Okay, so I bet I rolled a little far. This is fine. I was playing position for this ball. That's okay. I might have preferred, as I'm looking at it now, I prefer staying here to shoot this ball. Once you shoot this ball, then you have the opportunity to pocket this other stripe in either corner pocket. But as long as this ball's here, you can only shoot this one in the lower left. So you're kind of limiting your possibilities. It might have been better to shoot this 5 and then come over and get these balls. So I'm not doing either one of those things. This is okay. So I nudged this ball over knowing I'm going to have a shot on the 9. If I had hit the top side of that 5, then I would have had a shot on this stripe this way as well. I bet I'm going to tap the 9 in and just put the cue ball here. Let's see if that's what I do. Nope. Oh, I'm improving the break ball. I'm improving the 5 ball as a break ball. That's interesting because I already have a good one here. I don't remember what I do, but now I have 2 break balls. John Schmidt famously says you can never have too many break balls. They're excellent. They're key balls for for themselves or for other break balls, and they just give you so many more options. So possibly I'm going to shoot the 12 and the 8 and then float the cue ball over here. I'm obsessed with the cue ball right here, but maybe I'm not thinking about that during the moment. Maybe there's enough room to get positioned up here and shoot the 13. But as you can see, I'm halfway through the rack, and so now I'm taking a look and I'm making sure, how exactly do I want to play this? You know what? I might be doing this. The 2 ball connects to the 1, and that's close to the break shot position for the 5. Let's see if I preserve those balls. I am. No? No, I'm not. Okay. What am I doing? I could shoot the 3 right now. Maybe 311, and I come over here, but I'm not sure. I might be preserving the 2-1, and then because the 2 makes it possible to get the perfect position you need, straight in on the 1, to roll forward to here to shoot the 11 as a break ball. So that might be my plan. If that's my plan, I'll shoot the 5 and bring the cue ball up here to shoot the 13. There's multiple, as you can see, there's multiple ways to go about it. It depends on exactly what your angle you have. It looks like I'm a little bit shallow on the angle to the 5. Yeah, I don't like shooting the 1 here, but okay, let's see what I do. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's not recommended. That was awful. That was absolutely awful. There was no reason to do that. I remember this rack now. I remember this. I was thinking about dealing with those 2 balls, but I was dealing with other issues over here. Oh, and I'm talking about it now. I can't hear myself what I'm saying, but you probably can. But that was awful. I think I was trying to hit the other ball. Yeah, I was trying to hit the first ball to move it to preserve a shot on the other ball that was there, and I mishit it. So now this could very well be a rack ender, but I'm going to cut the 2 ball into the corner and then let the cue ball come straight across table and then back. And I'm going to have to do it pretty soft because somewhere from center table, I've got 4 balls to pocket. And I know I don't want to come past center table because I could end up over here with a tough shot. So you really got to hit this cleanly. You know that you're going to get some contact-induced throw. You got to make sure you cut it enough to get it in that corner pocket, but you're not hitting it hard, which also can increase the throw. Ooh, yeah. You see that ball hit the rail about here. But it was such a shallow angle that it still accepted it. Okay, so I'm struggling now. I think the optimal pattern would have had me use one of these balls down here to get positioned below those 2. Sometimes you don't see those in the heat of the moment. If I was walking around the table more, maybe I would see them. So obviously now I'm playing position for the combination. If you look at the bottom at the overhead camera, I have to cut the 8 ball to my right in order to make this combination. See me sighting it? The cue ball is going to move up table. So I'm using low left to get the cue ball up here, center table again. So I've got a shot on any of these other balls in the corner pocket. See that? And then, so you know that the 8 ball is going to go that way after you shoot it. This is neat. I'm going to probably use the 8 or the 14 as a break ball. I need to shoot the 7 and draw back. What I want to do, you can play it 2 ways. You can draw back far enough to draw the cue ball over to the rail off the 3, or you can draw back less far and then bounce off the rail. And I'm doing neither of those. Oh, okay. I'm doing the same thing, but instead of drawing back off the 1, I'm using the 1 as the break ball. So now I want to draw back here and spin up, because then you want to get on this side of the shot line for the 8, which I just did. So now I can bounce out, and this is a very controllable shot. You're looking for this parallel line on that 1 ball. And I came too far, way too far. So a little bit nervous, a little bit uncomfortable, because I fouled up that rack. It should have been much easier. I kind of fouled it out, but I should have gotten that out of my head, because after I shot the combination, everything was perfect. And so I should have settled myself and really made sure. I probably didn't walk over and look. I needed to walk over and look to make sure I got the cue ball here instead of where it is. Okay, so Yeah, I'm talking about it right now. I needed to get this parallel line. And I was afraid of getting this angle, and I don't want to be back cutting this ball. I want to get parallel to the side rail. So that's what I'm complaining about now. Okay, so when you've got a shallow angle, you've got to sight it. So I'm sighting this carefully. You can see in the overhead, it looks like I'm hitting the top side of this second ball, or I might be hitting the bottom. I'm probably... a lot of people would put a draw stroke on this. You're hitting the top side of that second ball. The cue ball is probably going to draw straight up table. I think I'm trying to just stick the cue ball. It's not going to stick, but I'm trying to shoot below center so it hits the top of this and maybe goes to the side rail. Or just sticks there and really spreads the ball wide. You're going to see me hit this really hard. Watch how slow my backstroke is and how far back I pull it. See that? I like that better than the draw stroke up table. I think it might be a little riskier. Sometimes the cue ball slips off the side of the rack and scratches. But as you saw, I stunned it hard into that ball, full, and then it went off and it actually went down a little bit to the side rail. Now I've got a clustered rack. So again, 7 to 8 balls in the rack area. You're going to need to run into these with some force. You're probably not going to be able to pick them apart. What am I talking about here? Oh, what I'm talking about is the fact that I'm going to shoot the 8. I want to get an angle on the 1. I don't want to be over here. I want this angle on the 1 so I can draw straight back. Then I have a thin cut shot on the 2, and I can go into these hard. Sometimes the cue ball will stick here, and you'll have a shot on the 7. More often than not, you're playing to get the cue ball loose or through those balls. When you shoot the 2 ball, now I'm going to draw straight back. You see, yeah, I'm pointing. I'm trying to get right here. When you shoot the 2 ball, you cannot use any topspin. Remember, that's a topspin trick shot. If you use topspin when you shoot this 2 ball, that's pretty good. That's real good. If you use topspin when you shoot this 2, the cue ball is going to hit the rail and curve like this. It's like one of those trick shots, and you're going to miss the rack. You've got to shoot with center ball. Maybe a little bit of right, but not much. And I think that's what I'm talking about right now, too. You can't use topspin. It'll spin away from that cluster. You really want, and you want to aim, try and hit right between the 3 and the 11. That would be great. I don't think I do that, but that's what I'm trying to do. Put a good pace on this ball. You want that cue ball to get free. Oh, my gosh. Okay, so, yeah, really messed that up. I didn't use topspin, but I did use center ball. And I bet if we replay that, you see not as much, but a little bit of a curve. So I hit that badly. It can be deceiving, but sometimes you really want to hit that. You might even want to hit it with below center. You're not getting draw, but when you hit it below center, the cue ball is going to rebound more sharply off the bottom rail and have less of a chance of going wide. So I messed that up. What am I going to do now? It looks like I've got an angle, if you look at the upper, to try and get the cue ball go into those balls. I think I'm struggling a little bit again. I know I don't hit it. Oh, yeah, okay. So I was very lucky that I didn't scratch there. Very lucky. Oh, I remember this shot. This is a recovery shot. By all rights, the run should be over now. But I make a recovery shot and get out. Can you see what it is? I'll tell you in just a few seconds. Take a look. What shot do I shoot? There's no shot with these 2. I don't have a bake shot with this ball. This one's in the way. There's no combination. What it is a carom. The 9-ball carom's off this ball in the corner. It looks like this orange ball's in the way. And it is if I hit the left side of the pocket, but if I can hit the center or the right side, it's not. So I'm taking a very close look at this. I think I'm shooting a little bit above center, which means the 9-ball is going to come to this side of the tangent line. Wherever it contacts it is going to determine the tangent line. A little bit above center is going to make the cue ball, the 9-ball, come just a little bit to the south side of that tangent line, miss the orange ball, and go in the corner pocket. I get a real ecstatic when I make this because this is a low percentage shot. It doesn't have to go. This is a Hail Mary. If you're in a tournament, you're going to play safe here. for sure. I would not try this in a tournament. But the advantage is the 15 is going to knock those other balls loose, and I can probably continue. You got to hit this with a little bit of pace, like that. Beautiful shot. It's real pretty when they work out.
Sometimes you can just feel it.
I would imagine now that I'm going to shoot this stripe and draw back for the 14 because once your cue ball's up table, do your up table work and then come down table and trust that you are a pool player and you will find a way to get through these balls. I went over here and looked. I think that I have a shot on the 6. If I can get the cue ball over here, I'll have a shot on the 6. Oh, so that's what I'm doing now. Why am I doing this? I'm not sure. Oh, you know why I'm doing this? Because when I shoot the 6, it frees up the 7 for a break ball.
I don't have a break ball and I don't care.
But I could still clear the up table balls and accomplish the same thing. So I'm really not quite sure what I'm doing. I can't tell. It looks like the 4 ball's in the rack. So I don't have a break ball unless if I use the 7. Oh, I'm drawing into these balls to try and create a break ball because I'll have this ball on the side as insurance. Hit that a little thin, but that 5 might be a break ball. Oh, this is the last rack. This is the end. I don't get through this rack. And I should because I struggled, right? And I made that recovery shot, right? And I just talked about the end pattern because it's beautiful. I can shoot this. I'm going to connect the dots. 15, 14, 13, then the 12 to get perfect on the 4 in this pocket. And then I'll be able to keep the cue ball here, shoot the 7, and come 2 rails around for the break shot. This is a real failure to not get out here. And you'll see why I failed to get out. Yeah, big mistake. I'm feeling a little bit of pressure because I know I've shot over 3 or 4 racks. I don't know quite what the count is. I'm not paying attention to it. But I know I've got a good run going. I don't want to mess it up. I just talked about the fact that I want to send my cue ball directly at the 13 because that way my cue ball won't come over here. I need it over here so I can bounce off the rail. Now I do the right thing. Here's the shot line of the 15. I want my cue ball just here so that I can just slide over and get perfect on the 4. I understroke this. I decelerate. Let's watch if I decelerate, if I don't go fully through, what do I do? Yeah, see, I didn't follow through. That's a huge mistake. I set up with a short bridge and a close grip position, knowing that I didn't want to hit it hard, but that I need backspin on the cue ball to get it off the rail, but to stay below the shot line. So I underhit it. Bad shot. That's unforgivable for a straight pool player. You do all that work and you get on the shot, a perfect pattern, and then mess it up. Oh, that sucks. So I'm trying to come 3 rails and get here. Good luck with the speed control on that. I don't do too bad. Right now it looks like it might be okay, but it's going too far. So it's gone too far. If it was a little bit less shallow, I could cut the 4 and with one of those little tap strokes that's going to move my break ball. It might move my break ball way over here, but at least I'd have a shot. And then the cue ball would be here, and I'll have an angle on the 7 to play position for the new position of the break ball. But I think I have too much, and so I'm trying to go straight up table and back and get on this 4, hopefully to go 2 rails out for the break shot, and I miss it. And I should have made that shot too. That was rushed, a little bit of a rush shot. Just feeling the pressure at the end of the run. Yeah, see, I'm saying to myself, if I would have made that 7, I had the speed control good. If you look at the overhead camera, I'm cutting the four ball, I think it is, to my left a little bit. So this is just follow to the bottom rail with inside English and come out, and you're on your break shot. When a rack ends, you want to make the table beat you. In other words, a fluke scratch, a ball knocks the cue ball and makes it scratch, or something weird happens and the cue ball floats behind another ball and you don't have a shot on your break shot. Something like that that's out of your control. When you make a good recovery shot and then get the cue ball into a really good end pattern and then you flub the end pattern, that's an unforced error. You don't want any unforced errors or missed shots, missed scratch or missed position that you could have avoided. That's an unforced error, and that's how you don't want your runs to end. You want it to end on the table beating you and you don't beat yourself. So I beat myself there, but I put together some good racks. I hope you learned something from my running commentary there. A little bit different than my rack of the weeks. Rather than stop and starting, I was just wanted to get a stream of consciousness out there. I hope you enjoyed that, and let me know in the comment section if you liked it and want me to do more of these running commentary types of videos on my longer straight pool runs. Thank you for watching. If you are going to play straight pool, play it straight. See you next time. Thank you. Bye.